Disclaimer: the following program features language not suitable for all audiences, and the expressed opinions found within this program are a reflection of those who feature on the PopCulture Effect podcast. Welcome to the PopCulture Effect. I'm Rockin Rob, and on this show, I bring my closest friends together.
Welcome everyone to the PopCulture Effect, and as you can see by me doing the intro, we finally got rid of him, boys!
We did it.
I mean,
me and
you
Trin,
didn't really.
me and Trin banished him to the editor's realm.
That we did.
The Tyler Hive mind has won. Robbie is gone. Well, from recording.
Yeah.
Well, at the same time, too, though, he is editing, so we could probably throw in some bullshit to make it seem like he's still here.
Oh yeah, he will.
I feel personally called out, but okay.
But I'm recording.
He's just gonna make us sound like a bunch of schizophrenics.
But I have all the power.
That is true, or you do.
Yep. And this power is putting me on a hype trip about as big as the hype trip I had last night with my first topic of talking about the FNAF movie. Holy shit. That movie was goddamn beautiful.
I heard it had what was it? I think the critic score was very low, but the public opinion score was very high.
Oh yeah. I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes right now. So the critics that they have review through Rotten Tomato, they had the wrong people review this movie because the people that reviewed it were not fans of the franchise or had no idea what was going on with the franchise. Because
my God.
On Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter has given it a 26%, which looks atrocious. But the audience score, which is at over 1,000+ ratings, has given it nearly a 90%.
That's not bad. I'll admit, that's not bad.
Yeah, and I was expecting the movie to be like an hour and a half or so. They made the movie almost 2 hours long.
Oh, jeez.
And I think it all transitioned pretty well throughout the movie. I'm going to try my best not to spoil anything for the audience and to you guys.
Fair.
But
I was gonna say, for me personally, I don't give a shit because I have zero interest.
well,
but
that's
I
the case.
understand
This happened.
I actually fucking hate the franchise, but I'll admit
Really?
Yeah, I never got into the hype with FNAF because, when you watch the game, when you watch gameplay of it, you've pretty much already played the game, in my opinion.
That's fair.
So, I never played it because I already watched someone. I'm like, well, if this is just the entirety of the game, I'm not gonna fucking buy it. And then, because of how I can be averse to things, if they get too big too quickly and people, become cringe monsters, it instantly pushes me away, and that's what happened with the FNAF fandom. I'm like, I'm not dealing with that cesspool cringe.
That's fair. But yeah, this movie, they made this for the fans and only the fans. New people can come into it and probably enjoy it, but they made this for the people that enjoyed the games and wanted to see this lore in cinema. And I think they pulled it off beautifully. The animatronics looked straight out of the game. A lot of great lore was sprinkled throughout the movie. That was done very well. William Afton, the man, the myth, the killer himself,
The cockroach.
perfect. But
He always comes back.
he always comes back. But oh my god, I am such on a hype train right now for this movie. After I came back, I started rewatching a bunch of film theory and game theory videos, just kind of going back into the lore again because I was in such a hype train after watching it. I wanted to see more. I don't know if it's confirmed or if it's a rumor that they're already planning to start filming the second one in early 2024 and have it released late 2024.
I know they're set to have 3 movies.
Because Matthew Lillard confirmed that he signed on for 3 films.
There was also not any big actors, but the crew that was working on it. I saw that a couple of them have tweeted that the animatronics were moving on their own on set.
Yeah. We've already got some horror stories on set about it, which I think is hilarious.
I would be creeped out way too much.
One thing I thought was really cool about this movie too is that they kept Scott Cawthon on set with them almost completely throughout the production of the movie as well. So if anything wasn't correct, he was there to put them back in line.
Oh yeah, it was great. Apparently they had like 40 different takes or something just for one scene.
Oh yeah, they wanted to make this movie as spot on and as good as possible, and it really shows. There are some fun cameos in the movie. Unfortunately, Markiplier is not in it. Everyone wanted Markiplier to be in it. He was supposed to, but he was in the middle of filming his movie Iron Lung while FNAF was being filmed, so it unfortunately overlapped and he wasn't able to be a part of it. But we did get a confirmation of what his part would have been, and it is like not really, this isn't really much of a spoiler, but like right at the beginning of the movie we get like a 2-3 minute scene of the previous night guard getting attacked and killed by the animatronics. That was gonna be Mark originally.
That would have been so funny to see.
Yeah, and I highly recommend staying for the end credits. There isn't really a crazy end credit scene. There is one little comedic wise, but the song they choose for the end credits, I am so happy they chose that song. And then there isn't an after credit scene, but you hear some stuff as the credits is ending, hinting at the second movie.
Oh, okay.
So I'd highly stick around for the credits because you'll be pretty impressed. But all in all, I thought the movie was great. All the actors did fantastic job. I was really happy to have Josh Hutcherson play Mike.
It's interesting seeing that they're not like, it's not actually the Afton family considered to the games. From what I've seen, like you've seen that in the trailers and stuff, showed that it's Mike Schmidt.
Yeah, they're kind of changing it a little bit with who's part of what family.
Yeah, and it shows that, like, I know that there have been theories about, it's kind of common knowledge now, but the security guard, Vanessa, is supposed to be her tie-off from the game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cop Vanessa, not security guard in this. But there's a lot of people that are trying to Josh's sister in, like, the trailers and stuff. 'Cause that's all that I've seen. I haven't seen the movie. Or, well, Mike's in the movie. But
I honestly might, because it's in theaters right now, but it's also going to be on Peacock on Halloween. I might try to do a subscription to Peacock just so I can watch it again. Or I might just say screw it and go watch it in the theaters one more time. Because I want to watch it again. It's put me on a crazy hype for the franchise again, and I just cannot wait for the second one and the third one.
That's fair. I'm definitely wanting to see it, and I'll be seeing it some way or another going in or some shit.
Yeah. The movie is PG-13, so you can definitely tell scenes where they cut back on the gore a bit, but they did it well to where adults will still find the horror fun and thrilling.
Nice.
So it's at a rating where everyone can watch it. I mean, some little kids I'd say probably not, but if they're already knowing the franchise pretty well and expecting jump scares and stuff, probably be fine to bring them. Just be mindful. But other than that, The movie's fantastic. I loved it. I can see why some people, if you're not a fan, you might think the movie's weird or you might think it's not that good. But going into it knowing what it is, it's perfect. But anyway, before we move on, I would just like to say real quick for those who are watching on radio, please check out our fully unedited versions of these podcasts on the PopCulture Effect on YouTube. And for those that are watching on YouTube, please give us a like, comment, and subscribe to see what you want to hear more of.
Hey, howdy ho, it's me, Bobbert, from the Editing Dungeon here. Just want to add a little tidbit to expand the experience of this wonderful episode. I just want to say that the animatronics used throughout the Five Nights at Freddy's movies were made in collaboration with the Jim Henson Company. But as is pretty clear if you look into the movie, there was some CGI to make them pop, which is understandable as this is kind of a kids movie, but I'm not here to give my opinions, I'm just here to fill in the gaps.
And with that, Gemini, another franchise I'm also really hyped about. Tell us about the Doctor Who thing that's coming on out soon.
Okay, so this I just recently found out about, even though I had a whole week to figure this shit out, but my ass has been all over the place when it comes to time management, so I didn't even realize. But apparently, Doctor Who will be turning 60 years old soon. I always forget that this show has been around for a long ass time. You'd think I wouldn't, because one of my best friends in high school, her dad watched it when he was a kid, and he was like old as dirt. So like, because that's how she got into it. I got into it just because I saw it on Netflix and also like internet culture. Yeah, and next month, I believe, in November 25th on BBC and Disney Plus, they will be slowly throughout late November and early December rolling out 3 episodes for the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. And honestly, I'm actually really excited about it because the main reason is they're bringing back 2 of my favorite characters from the show from back in its earlier modern reboot. Not obviously not like the original, because pretty sure a lot of those actors are like long dead or retired from acting, but they are bringing back David Tennant as who was the former 10th Doctor as the 14th Doctor, I think. I'm not really too sure what they're going on about, but it's a sci-fi show where they can kind of manage to make it work through some bimbly bombly British time shit,
wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
Yeah, wibbly wobbly timey wimey bullshit.
So they are bringing back the former 10th Doctor David Tennant as the 14th regeneration, and one of the best companions next to Rose, Donna Noble. They're going to be bringing her back, which I fucking love Donna. Her personality was great. She's a beautiful actress. Her character was amazing. Her family, her grandfather, such a sweet old man.
Her grandfather made me cry so many times.
I know. I loved Papa Noble.
His conversations he had with David Tennant, 10th Doctor, my god. It was fantastic. It just kind of felt like he was one of the few people that could understand the Doctor. Yeah, so I'm really glad that not only are they bringing back David Tennant, who I'm actually surprised he is coming back, because he's quite busy with other roles. I'm pretty sure he's busy. I know they just wrapped up the first season of Good Omens, but I'm pretty sure they're working on a second season, or a second season will be coming out. I'm not too sure where they are on the production of that. I think it's coming out. I think they've already worked on second season. I think second season's already out.
I was gonna say it's either already out or it will be coming out, so it's probably already done. So that might be one of the reasons why he's fine with coming back. And honestly, I think to this day, he's still really proud of his role as the 10th Doctor. He was one of the most well-liked iterations of the Doctor of the modern series and everything. And I'm really glad that what was her name? Catherine Tate is also coming back. She was the woman who played Donna Noble. And I'm not in case you haven't seen it, which granted these episodes came out in mid 2010, so if you haven't,
what are you doing?
But I also haven't really finished it either. One, because they took it off of Netflix.
Oh, that's fine.
And then it was after I think it was the beginning of the 12th Doctor season, but with all the sad shit that happened at the end of the 11th with the Angels Take Manhattan episode, it broke me, so I just kind of stopped watching for a long time, because that episode fucking shattered my soul, because the Pawns are probably my favorite companions next to Donna. I think is the best in my opinion. Rose is good, but she's not as good as the Pawns. I fucking love Amy and Rory.
Rory was my favorite character next to the 10th Doctor.
I love of the companions. It's Donna, the Pawns, because you can't separate them. You really can't. They're they're together forever. And then Rose, she's OG, she's the OG original companion of the modern iteration, but there's just something about Donna that she trumps her regardless. And then I just but they haven't really. I can't really find much of what is going to happen. I'll be honest, I didn't watch the trailer, but that's because I'm kind of weird with trailers and I don't actually like watching them, so that's my own fault. But yeah, late November 25th is when this will be released on the first episode, which will be called...
Didn't realize it was that close.
Yeah, it had the episode names. Where did they go? Oh my god.
But I'm really hyped about this too, because same here. 10th Doctor was my favorite iteration. Him coming back for the 60th anniversary along with Donna Noble, it's perfect choice. And I'm really happy too that this is going to be on Disney Plus, because back then with the newest seasons of Doctor Who, which I kind of happened to falling off of it, but this special is going to get me brought back into it.
I might honestly get Disney Plus when this drops, or at the very least maybe after all of them have dropped, dropped, which it's the Wild Blue, or the Star Beast, that's the one that drops on November 25th. Wild Blue Yonder, that's December 2nd, and The Giggle, December 9th. It's three special episodes.
Okay.
And then there is a quick little tidbit about God. I really apologize for how I'm going to say his name, because I'm thinking it's an African name, and I'm a filthy American, so like, you know, when it comes to names that are outside of like my language and culture, I try my hardest, but goddamn.
Yeah.
Nuki Gatwa, I'm so sorry if I said that wrong, because he is said to be the next like full-time Doctor.
The 14th.
And the 15th technically, because Tennant is coming back as the 14th iteration.
You know, that's fair. Wibbly wobbly timeline.
Yeah, so he's the 15th Doctor, and it's like, you know, what about him? I thought he was like the next Doctor. He's still in the runner-up, and he will make his debut apparently during this, but his first full season of him being the full-time Doctor won't begin until next year. So if that's what you were waiting for with this special, he won't be the full-time Doctor just yet. You're gonna have to wait a little bit longer if you liked this actor, which I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to offend anyone by butchering it as badly as I probably did. But he apparently was in the next Netflix Sex Education. I watched a little bit of that. It seemed interesting. It's so hard for me to like sit down and watch shows. I'm terrible at that shit. I think he was the main character's like best friend in that show, if I recall.
Okay. I am just really excited for this and it being on Disney Plus, and I'm hoping from here on out just anything Doctor Who is just going to get put on Disney Plus immediately, because I've always had a hard time, which probably did not help me losing my interest in Doctor Who. I always had a hard time trying to find where to watch the previous newest seasons of Doctor Who.
Foreshadowing.
Where is it being streamed?
I don't think there's any streaming services. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, I will.
I don't think there's any streaming services that is currently doing any new episodes of Doctor Who. It's only on BBC, so you have to watch it on cable and record it.
Is it really? I could have sworn it was... Yeah, it must be. I know I have the David Tennant series on DVD somewhere. I have the David Tennant series on DVD, and I need to get the 11th one because those two are my top favorites, even though there's some people in my life that call him an ugly moron, but that's besides the point. I really love Matt Smith. I think that's his name. I'm terrible with names. Oh my God. But yeah, it does look like you can't watch it on any streamings. Okay, well here it's saying it's on Netflix and HBO Max. Is it? You guys have Netflix and Max, right?
I currently don't have Netflix at the moment because I was borrowing my dad's Netflix, but then they finally...
Oh yeah, they cracked down.
They finally hit that thing where like, hey, are you in your home right now? Are you on your home Wi-Fi? Because if not, you're not watching this right now. So now I can't use my dad's Netflix anymore.
I hate that about Netflix so fucking much. That's a whole different rant that we've had multiple times and probably will continue to have, so I'm not going to get into it.
Oh yeah, most likely.
You know, it's extremely hilarious in hindsight while editing this episode in this treacherous dungeon that on November 1st, BBC announced the Whoniverse. So we are gonna finally have an iPlayer experience where you can watch all of your favorite Doctor Who episodes. So to answer Blaze and Gemini with where you can find Doctor Who, it's Whoniverse on BBC's iPlayer. Back to your regularly scheduled program.
But anyway, moving on from, the discussion of, British TV shows and where to find them on streaming services and everything. Menace, how would you like to tell us of the changes to the most... Let me try that again.
We keep that in.
No. Menace, how would you like to tell us about the changes to the to the biggest shut up, to the big gaming streaming websites platform, the Twitch changes.
The Twitch changes. So oh god, if my throat, let me get some water real quick.
Hydration check.
Oh my god, no, never again.
This episode is brought to you by water.
Water.
Drink it or you'll die.
Drink your water.
But yeah, what was it? Last week or the week before, we had TwitchCon, which, you know, always a big time. But Twitch actually came out with some policy updates, and there's two big ones that have come up. And the first one is stream embedding. I don't know if either of you know what that is.
Not too familiar.
Essentially, if you go on, it's on a lot of like game guide sites. If you look up guides for games like Dark Souls or something like that, you'll usually, when you go onto a website, there will be a stream playing, like in the top left or somewhere on the screen. There's just a stream that auto plays. But it's always been a big thing for streamers, especially people that are starting up, because it doesn't matter if they're streaming the game specifically that you're looking up or anything. They could be playing a completely entire game, but as soon as that you load up that web page, you count as a viewer on their stream. So these websites are essentially view botting off of people looking for information on completely different games and constantly having the top spot in whatever game they're playing.
I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, like when I look up like wiki of websites or whatever about games, like say I don't know, I'm looking up where to find the Blackstone Ring in Elden Ring. I know that's not an actual item, but you know what I mean. Looking for an item in Elden Ring or whatever, and I'm like, where is it? So I go on the wiki, and yeah, there's usually like in the corner like some jagoff playing Valorant. I'm like, what?
Yeah, exactly, that stuff. But you're counting, so these people who aren't even like playing the games that you're looking up, they're constantly dominating the categories of the games that they're playing from, because you know Twitch is separated into the different games that you play, like for categories and stuff, and people are essentially getting free viewership from that. So the new change to it is that when you load up into those websites, the stream is not going to autoplay anymore. It'll be paused, so you technically won't count as a viewer for them anymore.
Honestly,
but
I don't mind that. I'll be honest.
I don't either, because it allows people who are actually playing these games and actually like I know the people on the stream are playing the games, but they're essentially getting like dirty viewers from people who are looking up information for completely different topics.
Yeah. Like half the time I barely even realize they're there because you know I'm too busy trying to figure out where the hell I can find the Great Crag Sword.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know, I'm trying to figure out where the to find this one item that I need to complete my build, and I barely pay attention to Mr. Man in the corner playing Valorant, but sometimes I glance over and I'm like, what?
See, the cheekiest thing is that most of these embedded streams will keep them muted when they pop up. So you won't even, most of the time you won't even know what's playing, but you're counting as a viewer for that person.
I remember one time, I don't think it did mute it, and all of a sudden I just hear this dude start talking, and it spooked the shit out of me because I think I was alone at my house at the time. I'm like, who the and then I like glance, I'm like, oh, it's just some random stream that popped up. Okay, but it spooked the shit out of me for a second.
But
yeah, that's real dirty, you know, that these people are able to keep like a high ranking spot and like, you know, again, say Valorant, and there's someone who's like, you know, they're starting to kick off, but they can't get up there because some. And here's the thing, when this happens, is it like an automatic thing, or do they is it something that they set
It's
up?
the stream for okay, so the main person that does it is it's Fextra Life. So they do a lot of Dark Souls and other RPG game guides, but the person that is streaming for Fextra Life on Twitch will be playing like Armor Core or something like that when
so these are like partnered streamers.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was curious about. Like, are these just people like do they know this is happening? Or are these websites pulling a random streamer?
If it was like a hype zone thing that they, you know, like they used to have where it would just stream a random player that's like playing that game, that I could understand more. But no, these are just the people who have that account on Twitch, and they're playing whatever they want to play. But there's one other big change, and I think this is even bigger than that, is for the longest time they had, if you are partnered with Twitch, you can only stream on Twitch. Like that's been a big thing. It's always been a controversy. And then what was it? Last month they updated their policy for, it's called Simulcast, where you're streaming on multiple like services at once, like say YouTube and Twitch if you're streaming on that. But they updated it last month to where you can do like mobile services. Like if you're streaming on Twitch, you can simulcast it to Facebook or TikTok and stuff like that. And then just as of during TwitchCon last week, they updated it, and it now says, as of today, you can now simulcast on any live service. We believe that you should have the freedom to decide services you want to live stream on. You can also learn for other guidance at Simulcasting Help article. They did come out with a couple of stipulations for if you are streaming on Twitch, though. The first one was that if you're streaming to multiple services at once while using Twitch as your main platform, platform that you ensure that the quality of Twitch users' experience for your simulcast is at minimum no less the experience on other platforms or services. So they want, like, you can't have extra sub buttons or anything on that on YouTube that you wouldn't have on Twitch.
Okay.
Like special emotes or anything like that.
Okay.
Their second one is you should not provide links otherwise directing your community to leave Twitch for your simulcast on other services, because we value the community of Twitch and the integral role community engagement plays on Twitch. You can't be like streaming on YouTube, and I'm just using YouTube and Twitch because they're the biggest kind of services, but can't be streaming on YouTube, posting links for your YouTube in your Twitch chat, being like, yeah, no, go watch me on YouTube, don't watch me on Twitch.
Interesting. Don't they kind of do that though when they stream on Twitch? Like, if you want to watch this later, you can go to my VODs channel. Or is that not allowed when you're on Twitch?
That's allowed, like promoting a channel, but they're saying more of like if you are live streaming both on, because this is like streaming on multiple services at the same time. I know with OBS you can set it up to stream to like Twitch, Kick, and YouTube all at once.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And you can also set it up for like TikTok and Facebook and stuff like that too.
Oh.
But so they don't want you posting links like, nah, my YouTube channel's bigger, go over there and watch me when I stream on there. That's what they don't want.
Oh, okay. So like, yeah, I get it now.
And this one kind of sucks, especially for just trying to keep up with everything, because they do want everybody to be included. I can understand. But the last stipulation is you do not use third-party services such that combine activity from other platforms or services on your Twitch stream during your simulcast, such as merging chat or other features, to ensure that Twitch community is included in the entirety of the experience for your live stream. So you can't have like there are little like scripts or mods that you can put into your stream to where it will merge all of your chats together. They don't want you to do that. They want the Twitch chat to be separate from everything else, because sometimes when all the chats are together, some messages don't get through, or it's all going too fast because so many people are typing.
You know what? That's fair. That's a quality of life thing. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
That's a fair quality of life thing, because I don't watch streams too often. If anything, I watch VODs because I usually don't have time to watch streams, and also I don't know. It's weird watching a stream. Not weird, but like I don't know. For me personally, I watch VODs. So like the times when with certain the ones of VODs that I see where like they have their like Twitch chat off to the side on rather than like it hidden and everything, because that's like a streamer personal preference kind of thing, whether they have it on the screen at all times or not.
Oh well, they're more talking about like, because usually they'll have their chat up on another monitor or something.
Oh no, I know that, but like no, I mean like on the actual VOD. Yeah, like on the actual like YouTube VOD or wherever the hell. Usually it's the YouTube VODs because they're like more edited technically in a sense, rather than the raw footage. Like they have it, like an overlay and everything. Yeah. I know like on the actual streamer side, it's like separate and everything. I know that much, but I mean like on that, and because what I'm getting at here is I've already seen a few instances of that, and like sometimes the chat's going so fast. So if they like, that's definitely a quality of life thing, because having like, say you have a big following on both YouTube and Twitch and you combine those, that poor streamer's never going to be able to keep up with messages.
Oh yeah.
They might as well just ignore it, and then people are going to get upset that they're ignoring them.
The only thing is that I feel like it's going to be harder for streamers to have two chats up at once instead of having those mods or stuff that just merges all the chat together, because I know some people can like put it on slow mode and they're able to keep up with it.
Yeah, and I do think like the bigger streamers who do have a tendency to pull in massive crowds do that, where they put it in slow mode and you can only like, what is it, type like every, is it 30 seconds or like I guess it's like
minute or something like that.
I was gonna say, I'm not too sure. I think the one time I watched a stream from someone who is a rather like popular streamer, at the very least, like he has a pretty decent sized following in comparison to like others that I prefer to like watch if I want to. Yeah, I think he usually does have it on slow mode, or like, they have it on like sub only and everything, or you can only talk if you're a follower. Like, yeah, there's all those options, but I get that. And for the streamer side, that would be annoying because then you have to have like two separate windows, but 9 chances out of 10, they got like 15 different monitors.
That's fair. No, the main streamer that I watch is usually on YouTube only, so I don't know much about like how that end works on Twitch besides the little that I've done myself.
I was gonna say I honestly don't know either. I know for me personally, when I have attempted to stream here and there, it sucks trying to bounce back and forth when you just got one monitor.
Oh yeah.
I need to get a second monitor back.
I just got myself one of the Arzopa monitors that's been all over TikTok lately, and that thing's been great. And they have a sale right now, so it's like $75 for it, and thing's perfect. Not sponsored, though. If they want to sponsor us, that'd be great.
Oh, that'd be great.
I think that's for, Snorbert and other people to discuss, not us.
I think these changes are going to be really helpful in the long run, because I know there's some streamers that do streams, but then they do edited videos to YouTube, and now they're going to kind of have that freedom that everybody's going to be able to join into the stream, or if they do want to keep their channels that way, they have another avenue for like big stuff they do in their games. I normally watch gaming, but like they have big announcements they want to do, they can do streams on everything that they want to promote themselves to.
Yeah, that would be a good thing. Yeah, because like say it's a streamer who is, say, like a big event's coming up in their life, like they can announce like, oh hey, I might be taking a bit of a break because maybe they're getting married or they're going on vacation, like maybe for like a long one, or something like that, some event where, or hey, this happened, woohoo kind of thing, and they can stream it to all of their fan bases, or not fan bases, but like platforms essentially. But I do know there are some people who I watch that like they'll give like a quick disclaimer on YouTube, like this was recorded live on Twitch, blah blah blah, and then they like drop their Twitch and everything and like enjoy the video, and I'm like, oh, it was cool.
Going from these new Twitch updates to a game I have no doubt will be streamed all over Twitch in the recent future. Gemini, what's going on with City Skylines 2? I actually saw a trailer for it yesterday. It actually got me interested.
So City Skylines 2, if you're not familiar, I'll give a quick like background summarization of it. If you're not familiar with it, that is a game by Paradox Interactive, which is a company that's very it made the first City Skylines, and a lot of the map games that you see, like Hearts of Iron, Crusader Kings, Victoria, Europa, EU, and Stellaris. They're very popular for their real-time strategy map games, but they made a city builder called City Skylines back in 2015, and that was it got really popular because it came out near the end of SimCity's life, because when they released the last SimCity game, it was a stinker. EA dropped a big old stinker, and so Paradox was like, why don't we try a city builder game? So they did, and City Skylines 1 was created, and it was a really good game. It has a lot of, DLC that you don't have to buy it. It's like optional as always. But just this past week, they released the sequel, and with what you're saying about it being streamed, more than likely, but not quite yet. Well, in other people's opinion. In my opinion, the game is honestly pretty good. It does kind of fall into the pit trap that a lot of Paradox games falls into when they first release a game, where it doesn't have the greatest reception at first. And usually it falls under the problem of there's not a lot of content. And that is a big problem in general AAA games, where, they do release what people think are half-baked games, and you have to pay a lot of money to get extra stuff with the DLC. Paradox does sadly do that, but apparently a lot of people right now are complaining it is a poorly optimized game.
Really?
It is. Let me see if I can try and pull up a couple of the reviews that people had on it, because the funny thing for me is I honestly don't think it's that bad. Like it's on a mixed status on Steam, like the yellow mixed, and for me when I played it, I honestly didn't think it wasn't that bad. Yeah, I have the graphics on medium, but to be fair, my graphics card, I believe is it a 1660 Ti? It's an old, it's not old, it's not new, but like it's not crusty dusty either. It needs upgraded eventually, but it's fine for the time being.
Right. You can get the job done, but it's not the greatest option.
Yeah, it's gonna probably struggle with a lot of them, like a lot of new AAA game titles, which I don't really give a shit about. If it can run the games I like currently, great. If it's gonna have some trouble in the future with the games I like, then I'll save up for a new one.
Let's just hope this game isn't gonna end up like Sims for you.
It won't, but their life sim game that they're working on will.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway.
Oh, Jesus.
Life by You. But anyway, yeah, so a lot of the people claim that, you know, the performance is questionable. I guess for them, it crashes to desktop. It's got bugs, which every game has bugs. You're never going to have a game that's going to be bug-free on release. You're never going to have a game that's bug-free in general. It's never going to happen. I don't care how great of a video game designer and programmer you are, you're going to have bugs. It's inevitable. It happens.
That has been my same exact experience recently with this new game that came out, or the beta came out, called The Finals, and the servers have been slammed the entire time, practically full, and all I hear in the Discord is getting notifications, Bing, oh, this game sucks, I keep getting crashed, Bing, oh, I can't load into a game, what's going on, Bing, oh, there's bugs. Like, dude, it's a beta launch, it's gonna have bugs.
Yeah, so, you know, people are saying it doesn't have as much content as the old game. The old game had like 15 different forms of DLC. Of course it's not gonna have as much content as the old game. Of course it's not. It just came out. And that's what people don't seem to realize, that just in general that game companies do is, yeah, it's annoying how to get the extra content you have to either wait for modders to create it or wait for the company to drop the DLC, but that's just kind of the dystopian society we live in. Deal with it. So that's one thing they're bitching about. The optimization of like, you know, oh, I have such a high-end PC and I'm only getting like 30 FPS with high graphics, and it's like, who cares if you're getting 30 FPS? Like, yeah, if it's crashing to desktop because it's, you know, you have it on the highest graphics and your graphics card is like, oh, like pretty decent, I guess it's kind of a problem, but just tweak the graphics. I hate these people that are like, you know, my game's got to run at 120 FPS, like 50 billion, I don't know
all the time,
P.
top tier or nothing.
Yeah, like, you know, it's got to be crisp, clean, you know, perfect 24/7, and if it's just like a frame below perfection, bad game, worst game ever, shit game.
I don't see the details on the cars when they crash into each other.
If I see one frame off, I'm done.
Yeah, that's literally how these people are acting, and it's kind of hilarious. Apparently, I guess people are complaining like the natural disasters aren't as good as the old game, which that's a fair enough complaint of, because I don't remember if natural disasters came with the base game with City Skylines 1. I haven't played it in a long time. If they didn't, I kind of get complaining that the natural disasters aren't as good, so that's a valid complaint. I'm noticing the reviews have definitely went up, because I think it was like not mostly negative, but like it was on the bad end of mixed, like the worst side of it. I guess there is a slight problem where if you have a big city, it gets very laggy and you might as well start a new city.
Oh, that's just entities.
Yeah, like that's just the game getting a little big. That's a problem with a lot of games though. Like this was posted October 24th, which I think was the day the game came out. So fair enough. Day one launches are sometimes kind of stinky anyway. 13900K, 64 gig of RAM and an RTX 4090 playing on a 1440p ultra wide monitor. I got 35 FPS at the main menu and in-game on a brand new map without building a single thing. Turning off the motion blur and depth of field increases from 35 to 50 FPS. Not a single other graphics setting changed the performance at all, even on the lowest, and still only got 50 FPS. What's wrong with getting 50 FPS? Like, I'm sorry, what is wrong with that?
As long as I'm getting like
a simulator though,
honestly, as long as I'm getting like more than like 40 FPS, I'm fine.
I will say that the marketing for it did show it like massively like enhanced, good graphics. Like,
yeah, they did.
They showed it like where the city almost looked realistic, except for like when you got like down and looked at the people.
Yeah, I will. It doesn't look like that, I will admit. But honestly, you can never go off of a trailer. You can't, because you never can tell if it's actual game footage or if it's like rendered game footage. You can never trust a trailer anymore, because 9 chances out of 10, it's probably a rendered trailer in like some animation software that they have, and it's not actual game footage. But moving on from that, for me personally, I really enjoyed the game. I did turn the graphics down to medium. When I first booted the game, it was a little stuttery on the main menu, but it wasn't like super noticeable. And I used to play the first game on a shitty laptop and I probably got 15 frames a second. I don't give a how laggy my game is half the time. Yeah, I've gotten spoiled as I've gotten, better equipment with being older and being able to afford it, sure. But it didn't bother me, but I just mostly didn't want the game to crash or my PC to catch fire. So yeah, I turned it down to medium. But after that, I had no problems with the performance of the game. If anything, it was more just the fact of having to kind of relearn the game that was my biggest gripe. And that's not even the game's fault. That's just me being a dumbass, That's me forgetting the core mechanics of the game. So in my opinion, I think it's a pretty good game. Yeah, it's a little lackluster because it just released and the older game has all this extra content, but I think you are right in the sense of in the future you are probably going to see a lot of people streaming it, building their big cities, and when the DLC will eventually come out, yeah, people are going to buy it. It's going to gain more traction, and I think it will eventually rise from its kind of negative state where it is right now, because tragically that is kind of how Paradox games are. They start out really shit and then they build their way up. So for me personally, I really enjoyed City Skylines 2. I believe it was supposed to be on Game Pass, but I noticed it's not. Well, it is on PC. I want to say it's on Xbox, but it might be for the newest Xbox.
It's a PC Game Pass.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I wonder if they took it off the Xbox Series X, because I remember before it came out, scrolling through the Game Pass on occasion just to see what was, if anything new had dropped, because I don't fully pay attention when new things drop on the console variant, and I remember seeing it there. So I wonder if they removed it from the Series X when it launched and it wasn't running too well on PCs for people. So I wonder if they pulled its release off of console for the time being. I want to fact check that. They could have. I want to quick fact check that. They did. They pushed it back.
Oh, okay.
They pushed it back for console. Spring of 2024.
Oh, okay.
So they did push it back. Okay. I will admit, I played it on console. I don't have... It's games like that, trying to control them with a controller is so annoying.
Those types of games kind of has to be on mouse and keyboard.
They have to be. It's so bad play, because I remember...
What we can hope for is that they have mouse and keyboard compatibility, and you can just plug one in if you got one.
Yeah, because playing City Skylines with mouse and keyboard is so nice, because you can, fully control where everything is going, especially because, if you're a perfectionist with OCD of some kind, it's trying to get those roads with a mouse is annoying as hell. Trying to get those roads with a controller, throw the thing in the trash. Throw it in the trash. You're gonna be sitting there all day working on one or two roads, and you're never gonna be happy. Holy shit, is it so bad, I'll admit. So that definitely does mean that there was some optimization issues.
Oh yeah.
That they realized. Yeah, because I remember it was supposed to release all along all platforms October 24th, but they pulled it. Interesting. Didn't know that. So yeah, if you're waiting for it to drop on console, you're gonna have to wait till spring of next year. How are you playing it on console if you do? Because holy shit, like I said, the controls on console are so bad. You are a stronger, smarter person than I am, I will admit. But moving on from a game that was pushed back from its Xbox release, Menace, how about the Xbox Partner Showcase? What information do you have on that?
The Xbox Premiere Preview, don't even know why it was called Premiere still, but it is a look at some of the bigger games that are coming out. And the first one, we got a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, and they're running it on Unreal 5 if I remember correctly, and it looks pretty awesome. We got Alan Wake 2 launch trailer and walkthrough introducing some of the new enemies that are going to be haunting us. We got Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which is the new in the Yakuza series. It's going to let you manage your own island resort. There was a first look at the new Ark Survival Ascendant, which they're going to be focusing more on some fantasy monsters for this one. Manor Lords gets a PC Game Pass preview. I'm actually not sure what that is. Going from a showcase showing off new games, talk about this. Going from a showcase showing off new games, what is this new show that you've been looking at? Amazing Digital Circus, please?
Yeah, so Amazing Digital Circus, there's only a pilot episode out for it at the moment, and it's all going to be aired on YouTube by a channel called Glitch Productions, which Glitch Productions has been around a little bit. They're currently at about 3.5 million subscribers, with a few other indie type shows on their belt, like Murder Drones, Meta Runner, Sunset Paradise, and they're definitely getting really popular with these really greatly animated shows that they're doing right off of YouTube on their channel. Murder Drones was one of their biggest shows they had on here. They have 6 episodes of it out right now, and each one was getting over 10 million views. The pilot episode for Murder Drones has 26 million. But
wow.
Amazing Digital Circus pilot has only been out for 2 weeks, and it's already reached 45 million views.
Jeez.
People are going nuts for this. The animation is beautiful. The characters are wacky and fun. The cast that are bringing the voice to these characters is really great choices. Like, for those of you who are Has-Been Hotel fans, the original voice actor for Angel Dust in the pilot voices the rabbit character Jax in this, and you can definitely make out his voice immediately, but he's more like a more gruff, I guess not really necessarily gruff, but more slightly deeper toned Angel Dust. You'll pick the voice out immediately. But the show is basically about these characters who get stuck in this digital circus world after something happens to them. The new character Pommy says something about, like, they put on this like VR headset and then they get stuck in this world, and the owner of this realm called Kane, who's like their head is like one of those like teeth toy chomper things with eyes in the middle of the mouth, and he's kind of like a ringleader for this circus, and he's doing crazy little fun mini games and side stuff for them to do just to make them not go insane while they're stuck in this world. And it's definitely, it has some adult humor to it, and I thought there was one really funny scene where the main character Pomni starts freaking the hell out and swears and then just gets censor barred, and Kane is literally just like, no, you can do everything in this world but not swear, and then Pomni just goes off and cusses up a storm and everything gets censored.
That's great.
That's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, there are so many memes coming out of this pilot episode and so many scenes that have been shown all over YouTube, all over TikTok, Facebook, iFunny.
I've seen a couple of the clips, yeah.
But I'm loving it. I can't wait to see more of the series. Considering it's already at 45 million views after only being 2 weeks, I assume the show's gonna pick up real quick. And from how this track record works for their previous shows, especially with like Murder Drones being their other current series on the channel, they usually have a track record of uploading a new episode for each series within 2 to 3 months of each other. And with how good the animation quality is on it too, it's very impressive for them to be releasing episodes of these shows that quickly. But if you're a fan of like Hell of a Boss, Has-Been Hotel, and other like adult humor type animation quality shows, I'd really recommend giving Digital Circus a shot. You will laugh your ass off throughout the entire thing.
I've been thinking about this, and I know we're gonna be sending them off to him soon. But I've been thinking about this because last episode he was editing, and he was like, "Wow, you guys only sweared like 6 times through the entire episode." And I've been like semi keeping track of every time we swear this episode. I'm like, oh, he's just gonna have a heyday. He's gonna be whining the entire time.
Oh yeah.
Hey now, come on. I wouldn't complain. It's not like you guys dropped the F-bomb 30 times.
But yeah, that's what I got for Amazing Digital Circus. I really recommend giving it a shot if any of the audience haven't watched it, or if either of you two haven't watched it yet. But I think it's amazing, and I can't wait to see what's going to come next of it.
I'll definitely be giving it a shot.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we got on our end. I don't know if Robbie's going to try and cut in anything, or if that's it. But
he does say he has some stuff at the end, so we'll be sending you off to Robbie in the editor's realm.
Oh, you don't think you could get away from this episode without a Rob's Corner, did you? Well, you know, with everything that's going on in this episode, I thought it'd be important. I thought it would be appropriate to approach all the other news going on in animation. First things first, I want to talk about Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix, which is a show Ubisoft put out, which turns Rayman, the lovable 2D side-scrolling mascot, into a drug-using, washed-up has-been, completely replaced in his news anchor position by a duplicate, and then they turn him into Ramon, which is actually pretty badass, not gonna lie. Next up, we've got the new voice actors for Rick and Morty for their season 7 premiere and all the way up until episode 3, which is what I've seen. We've got Ian Cardoni for Rick and Harry Belden for Morty. And in the first 3 episodes, they did a fairly good job, I could say. For the majority of it, I couldn't necessarily tell that they were different, that there was a change. But yeah, I think the episodes for the season 7 were really good. They're really fun. All of them kind of had their own little vibe. It wasn't really interconnected throughout like the serialized nature as it has been, but it's definitely a step in the right direction when they want to kind of make people familiar with the new voices as we kind of go back into that serialized nature, hopefully in season 8. And before we get to the most depressing news of this corner, I'd like to take a quick moment to talk about Daily Mail's Bent Key Kids Entertainment app. This is launched in coordination with Disney's 100-year celebration, and they're actually going to be launching an entire plethora of content for kids, and it's kind of designed to bring animation back to their roots and avoid being woke. It'll be interesting to see what kind of animation they create, because it seems like they've got stuff from across the board, from puppetry to live action to animation in CGI and 2D. It'll be interesting to see how it goes, but what I'm worried about is the heavy ham-fisted political statements and propaganda that'll most likely show up, because, you know, it's Daily Mail. But yeah, to get to the final bit of news, as you may have heard during my interview with Kamal on the station for the funding drive, Learning with Pibby will no longer be turning into a show. Adult Swim has passed on the idea of creating a full show of it as of right now, and the creator Dodge Greenlee has been putting a lot of concepts for Pibby on his Instagram, so go check them out. They're really creative, they're really awesome, and it's just really sad to see this really creative idea just kind of poof, just it's gone, you know? But yeah, that's been Rob's Corner, and I'll let Blaze take it from here.
Anyway, wanted to thank everyone for tuning into the podcast and listen to us rant about things we think interesting. Wanted to thank my 2 lovely guests with me, the other Tyler Menace.
Oh yeah, and make sure to check out the other channels on CJSW as well.
And the other adopted Tyler into the hive mind, not Tyler Gemini.
A pleasure as always.
And thank you for tuning in to the PopCulture Effect, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. All right. I have started the recording. And trying to...
I should probably turn it on.
Probably not a bad idea. I'm gonna get in the groove of things.
Sorry, but you threw off the Emperor's Groove.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Yeah, it is.
But before we get into things,
oh my god, okay, it's happening.
I'm so upset, Menace, that you can't freaking hear my soundboard that I've been making.
Hear any soundboard, it makes me upset.
Legit.
I'm gonna have a new sound. I'm dedicating myself to have a new sound effect every episode.